Hello friends and family of YouTube. Well, as the young people say, it's been a minute since I put out a video. Well, the last video I did put out on this channel was about foods that you can find in the forest, and I had to pull that video because I made a mistake. The nuts that I showed you out in the woods that you can eat, those are great and fine, but the berries, that's where the trouble begins. Is there are two varieties of berries that look very similar. One is medicinal and the other one is poisonous. So for that reason, I pulled the video off of the channel, and I will be editing it out, getting the berry portion out of there. And once I get it edited out, I will be reposting it, but I will put it on the Country Style Living channel. That is a channel that I have that basically I just use it in the wintertime, showing you how I cook and some other things that I do here. And but it's all without any commercial, so hopefully y'all would come over and join that channel if you hadn't already. Anyway, let me show you what I've been up to. So as of this very moment, I am watering my corn plants that I have at on my rental property, and man, these things are coming right along. Right now they're right at the level of right up under my chin, so hopefully they will finish out in the next 2 to 3 weeks before the first freeze or hard frost comes. So got quite a few of them that's got ears developing on them, some of them don't. So this is going to be some sweet corn. This was a test run anyway, so if I get some out of it, that's great. If I don't get anything out of it, well, that was kind of expected anyway. Again, this was just kind of a test run. And when I say this is a test run, let me show you what I'm talking about. I have one row of corn, and it's 2 plants wide. And that's something I haven't seen anyone do, so I'm trying it just as a test to see what it will do. And I staggered these. I didn't put these side by side. I staggered them like that. So looks like it's doing okay, but it's really dependent on if the ears of corn develop anything. That's what I'm more concerned about, not whether I can get the plant to grow, but of course I want ears of corn on it. Well, I am making a greenhouse, so I can grow my own food. Hopefully most of the year, maybe 9-10 months out of the year. So Camp David's gonna have a greenhouse. How about that? So man, yeah, I'm really excited about this. I will have a video on this channel once I get done with it, get it all completed, and show you how I went about making this thing. But man, I have hardly no money tied up in this thing, so it's gonna work out pretty good. Let me show you around here just a little bit. This thing is 13.6 by 13.6, and you can see that I don't have the plastic fastened down yet. Me and a neighbor friend of mine, we got this plastic thrown over here yesterday and just clamped it down to stay together. And today I'll have to be trimming it out a little bit and doing some of that stuff. And I have also installed a solar package on my home. I have right at 1100 watts of solar. I got 6 batteries in the inside the house there. So man, that has taken me quite a while to get some of the bugs worked out of it and get it all set up, but there it is. So man, that has really kept me busy. Now, speaking of staying busy, let me show you what else I've gotten into. Well, I had some dirt brought into my home, and that is 2 dump truck loads of dirt that have just been dropped here, and I'm going to have to move this all by shovel and wheelbarrow. I don't have any tractor or any way to move this other than by moving it by shovel and wheelbarrow. So I am going to be I'm going to be working on this for probably quite a while. I have moved one before this way, but I was a lot younger man in a lot better shape at the time. So it's going to take a while, but reason I'm doing it is a lot of this area was low, and so water would kind of pile up here in front of my house and under my house. So I'm wanting to get that straightened out, but I also want to put me some raised beds out here. So I will do some gardening within this, and some of this dirt will go inside my my greenhouse. I will have some raised beds inside of there, so a lot of it will go in there. Got a lot of projects around here with dirt that I need to use. So man, it's gonna come in handy. I just dread doing it. And I know a lot of people pulled their tomato plants months ago. Look at there, mine's still putting out. I've never understood why people pull plants before they just completely fall to pieces. But you can see mine are still putting on flower. They are still putting out tomatoes. I think what a lot of people do or see is they see that they have some limbs that start looking bad, and they think, well, I just need to pull the whole plant. What I do is I just take those particular ones that are looking bad, and I break them off, cut them off with a knife or whatever, get rid of them. And that kind of makes the plant think that it's healthier than it really is, or I don't know. Anyway, it worked for me. But some of you might got to see on a couple of videos back, I showed my okra. So I will show it again. It is still growing. I measured it about 5 days ago, and it measured out at 12 foot. I think before I had said that it was around 14. I was wrong. At that time, it was 11 foot. But anyway, right now, about 4 or 5 days ago, we measured it, me and a buddy D. White, and it come up to right exactly 12 foot on that day. And like I say, it's been about 5 days ago. So I still got a few things growing out here. Got some beans and some peas, and of course my okra and my tomatoes. So I'll be pulling some of this up pretty soon. All right, so now I have a couple of semi-serious things I want to talk to you about. So I'm not a I told you so kind of guy, and the reason I'm not is because you can tell people something and then find out you were wrong, so then you look foolish. And I'm going to be telling you something I told you wrong here in a minute too. All right, so it's probably been maybe 2 to 3 years ago, and my longtime viewers can attest to the fact that I told you all this. But I had stated that if you start getting a sore throat or a cold or a flu and your throat starts getting a little scratchy, you can take mouthwash and gargle as long as you can possibly stand it, and that will thwart or push away a cold or a flu. And I've done it many, many times. I've been around people that's had a cold or a flu, and as soon as I noticed that I started getting symptoms, I would do that. Now, I know that there were people on my channel and people I've met in my daily walk that thought I was foolish, I was talking out of my head. Well, just a few days ago, I believe it was Penn State, did some research and discovered that mouthwash might actually help you with COVID. I'm gonna leave a link down below. So, hey, you heard it from me. You heard it from me first, years ago. Nobody would have ever listened to me if I would have said, you can get rid of COVID with mouthwash. People would have thought, man, what is this ignorant redneck trying to do to us? He's trying to get us killed. So, hey, that's based on their research. That's what they said. So I will leave you a link down in the where it says show more. You click on that and it'll give you a link. You can pop on that thing and it'll take you for a ride right over there and show you all the information attached to it. So I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, the thing I wanted to tell you or admit that I was wrong about, as I said probably about 6 months ago, I said that the stock market would be in trouble in middle of October, and it would all start with the banks would begin to fail, and that they would begin to be releasing in middle of October. They would release their stock information telling you about their previous quarter. Okay, so they did release their information for the previous quarter, but they did state that everything was fine and they actually beat expectations. Now, I don't know a lot about banking, and I know a little bit about the stock market, but I've also noticed that banks are having about 35% of their mortgages not being paid. That's not something I've made up. You can go on the internet and you can read all about that. So I find it hard to believe that banks are actually doing okay, but hey, it is what it is. I'll still admit I was wrong. That's fine. If you wonder what has that got to do with anything, that's why I'm still growing a lot of foods. That's why I'm getting a greenhouse. It's because I still feel like it will happen. To me, it's inevitable. I just don't think that you can have the economy that we've had, shutting down the economy and people not paying on their mortgages. Eventually, something has to crash, something has to fail, something has to give, and that's not been happening. I mean, that has been basically slicing the throat of the banks, but evidently, for whatever reason, the banks are acting like everything's great. So that's all right. But hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully everything will stay propped up. Hopefully our economy will not fail. A couple of days ago, it was stated that China is now the leader of the world in finances. I find that hard to believe. Matter of fact, I don't trust anything China says, but that's all right too. But anyway, folks, hey, I hope y'all enjoyed hanging out with me today. And hey, y'all go out and buy you some mouthwash and let's get rid of this COVID. I don't know if it works any better than bleach, but I would imagine it does. But anyhow, we got us an election coming up soon. I'm not going to ask you to vote one certain way, but we'll ask you to pray for our country and pray that we have peace within this country, no matter which way it goes, that people don't show out, burn stuff down, and act a fool. Let's get out and do the voting. Let's leave it at that. Folks, y'all have a great day. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Y'all come over and join me on the Country Style Living channel. If you hadn't already, it's free. There ain't no commercials, none of that stuff. So hope y'all come join me over there. Stay here as well too. See y'all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.